In President Samuel Ward's best-selling, groundbreaking, and stirring non-fiction history of the American red squirrel.
Please turn that down. I don't want to hear anything more about squirrels.
There's supposed to be a briefing on the Rotown incident.
We were there, Kim. I'm not sure we need the official agitprop.
From the mind of our nation's great leader comes a book for the ages about the humblest and most noble of God's creatures. Squirrels, Our Greatest National Treasure, by President Samuel Ward. Available now wherever fine books are sold nationwide.
This is it.
Citizens, good morning.
Why is the magistrate doing the briefing? That's unusual. Turn it up.
I speak to you today as your duly elected leader of justice and faithful servant of our beloved republic.
Why does it say breaking announcement? This is weird.
Yesterday, our beautiful city of Detroit, cradle
I was
of
expecting them
modern
to keep
robotics,
Rotown under
was
wraps
struck
until all the
by
deviants have been
the
caught.
carnage and destruction caused by these foreign agitators will not go unpunished. Murderous monsters acting on behalf of neighboring enemy states have struck a blow against justice, liberty, and everything this nation stands for. It's becoming clear that our great nation needs a leader who embodies all of our values: diversity, inclusion, strength, resilience, and most of all, hope. That is why I'm pleased to announce that Justice is endorsing for president in the upcoming election, Sarah Medina Castillo.
What the fuck? Why are we endorsing her?
Working with Miss Medina Castillo, justice will continue to prevail and strengthen this great nation. And we will use our power to protect our citizens. There will be justice for all.
What the hell? That woman does not embody our values. She wants to cut our funding. Her supporters have more in common with deviants than with normal people.
I knew leadership's been clashing with President Ward's administration, but this doesn't add up.
I hate to say it, but the new magistrate has gone too far. The woke justice rebranding was one thing, but this Castillo woman?
She's been vocal about her personal disdain for Ward. Maybe she and the magistrate found common ground.
Uniting against one bumbling idiot isn't enough to justify an endorsement. Her whole platform is built on demilitarizing the Republic.
You're right. But have you heard her speak out against justice lately?
I can't say I've been listening. And we've had our hands full chasing this one across... She's awake. And eavesdropping.
Sorry about the restraints. Standard procedure for deviants, I'm afraid. The fetus is okay. We didn't know. It's frankly a miracle you made it all the way here
You knew what you
without...
were doing, putting your unborn child at risk. Still, if I'd known, I wouldn't have...
I hope you're not in too much pain. We just want to talk without complications. How does that sound, Pax? Nothing official. Just 3...
Don't make...
What's that? Did you try to say something?
The only other alternative was a gag. We prefer less barbaric methods to prevent you from using illegal language.
Pretty good, right? It's an experimental drug mixture. You can still talk, but your magic spells are useless.
This conversation is long overdue. We've been on your trail since Boulder. And even before that, your mother's commune? That incident set off a lot of alarms.
But it took a while to connect the dots and tie you to the Rockies Tourist Center. Took even longer to tie you to the altercation in the diner out in Utah. Those officers have permanent injuries thanks to you.
That's when we realized we were dealing with... You call them divergents in Pacifica.
With a trail of destruction you've left behind in Rotown, Chicago, Boulder, the Rockies, Salt Lake.
Not talking with you. You drugged me. Tied me up.
I understand. You just woke up, you're disoriented. Probably worried about your friends. I'll do the talking. Enough people have died needlessly. You must see that. Another deviant went nova in front of us all in Chicago. We simply want to stop you and your compatriots from hurting anyone else. Justice has facilities where your words will be under control. We know you're not monsters, Pax. The disorder infected you when you were children. You need help, structure, order. The best thing, the safest thing for everyone is for you to tell us where your friends are and let us bring them in without unnecessary violence. Once they're all safe, we can figure out how to prevent more innocents from getting hurt.
He's being very generous. We're being generous. It'd be easy to just...
Says the people who are trying to put together an army of anomals.
An army? What do you mean?
Don't listen to her, she's lying.
I've met people, young people, kidnapped by Justice when they were kids, turned into anomals against their will. We know what Justice is doing. We saw your facility in Nevada. You're making anomals.
That's not possible. Where was this? How did you...
What the hell was that?
Puritans.
What? Is Pacifica staging an invasion?
Maybe not Pacifica, but just... Walker here. Roger that. They're on the second floor.
Already? How could they have gotten
The
past...
officers in the stairwell need assistance. Can you...
Yes, sir.
They're here for you, aren't they? What do you have that they want?
They're here for me, but we're not working with them, if that's what you think. They want me dead.
At least we have some common ground. Why do they want you dead? I have no interest in seeing the Puritans get their hands on you. Terminal, release restraints in room 5. Authorization code Walker...
What?
I'm letting you go, Pax. Terminal, authorization code Walker 9745. I don't know why they're after you or want you dead, but this is our country. We make the rules here. But you listen to me, Pax. I will find you and your crew again. For your safety and your child's well-being, turn yourself in as soon as possible. They're coming up the north stairwell. Take the service elevator to the south, down to the garage. My people have bigger problems to worry about right now. They'll leave you be.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. Oh, God. Can someone give me a hand? Seriously, help! Are you an angel?
Fuck no. It's just me, Pax.
Sai?
You got her? Sai, careful. The
I
babies.
know, Z.
Let's go. Before either Justice or the Puritans decide we're the enemy.
What are you doing here?
Saving your ass, bro.
We had to get you to a real hospital. You were in a bad state.
Lucky thing we had 99. Things that old lady.
Stop! Eli! We swore to never speak of her Vox again. We were planning to get you out. Do you remember what happened in Rowtown?
Getting stabbed and CT? They're
Oh, sorry. The van's waiting for us in the garage.
the van.
That traitor you met with in Rowtown knew about the truck.
Sai, I think I can stand on my own feet again.
I'm not letting you go quite yet, Pax.
Well, let's go. Why didn't you tell me you were pregnant?
She didn't tell me either.
Okay, so you can't really complain about keeping secrets, okay?
Secrets? What secrets?
Ask her.
It's complicated.
Sai's a justice informant.
That's not... I didn't have a choice.
Oh, we always have a choice. You chose to betray us.
Do you even know what justice can do to you? They were going to hurt my family. What kind of choice was that?
She called Justice and Liberty and told them about the poppies. And that's why they came.
What? That's not true. Justice was already on their way. I was only trying to...
Come on, van's waiting.
Well, it's no tour bus, but we'll fit.
I'm just glad we ditched the truck after what 99 did.
Eli, no, we swore.
You're late. Let's go.
Who are you?
I'm your goddamn messiah, Pax. Get in.
Pax, I'll explain later. We've gotta go.
Wow, champ. You look like shit.
Yeah, that's the drugs.
Save it. We need to go. Now.
The data key. I don't have it. Theo.
Lost. In Rowtown. It must have dropped out of your pocket when that bitch attacked you.
No.
We're alive. That's what matters. Stay low, Pax. We'll get out of here. With Nine-Eye's help.
Oh god. It'll be fine.
Nothing will ever be fine again.
Come on. You seem much worse.
No. No one has. I am literally scarred for life.
Just close your eyes, Pax. And ears.
Here we go. Grab onto something. We'll just be a couple of minutes.
Fine, but hurry.
Sorry for dragging you out of the van. Feeling okay after?
Soul's poetry helped. What's up with the old woman's box? Is she...
Do not
Never
go
again.
there.
We can't stay here. Every justice officer in the city's on high alert.
I just needed a minute with you guys, alone. Away from...
I think we can trust
Not
them.
the point, Theo. This is personal.
What? Where did you... We lost that in Roadtown. You couldn't possibly...
It's a copy. I actually bought 3. S-Mart had a deal. I copied the purity data onto a second key while you guys were checking on packs. I was supposed to give the duplicate to Justice in exchange for my family and a pardon. That's the duplicate. I gave Justice a 3rd key with just bullshit on it. I guess the mission's back on track. You all know I was in juvie. What I did not tell you was that I was facing more than a decade behind bars. For fucking graffiti. So when Justice told me there was a way out, I knew if I stayed inside, they'd eventually discover what I was. I'd never see daylight again. After I got out, I met with a handler every couple of weeks. I told them just enough to keep them happy. But I never sold anyone out. Then one day they informed me I'm being sent to Pacifica. If I resist, they'll put me back behind bars. They smuggled me across the border as a refugee. At first, they wanted me to attend some protests. Get cozy with Republic expats, small stuff. After a few years, they went silent. I figured they'd forgotten about me. Then, about a year ago, someone shows up. Tells me to volunteer for the Medina Castillo campaign. So that's what I do. I keep them informed. It's not like I know much. But my handler isn't happy. Says they need more. Or I'm toast, and they will arrest my whole family. Put them on trial for harboring a terrorist. When Theo offered us this assignment, it's like I've hit the jackpot. Justice would kill to get their hands on Puritan data. I tell them as little as possible. Nothing about you guys, and they offer me a deal. Hand over the data key. Slate's wiped clean. And my family's safe.
Did you tell Justice about Liberty?
No. No. Well, sort of, but it's not what you think. I overheard one of the Camp Karens, Moon, talking to someone. Said she'd call the cops on those deviants. That they finally had a way to get rid of Annie. Justice were on their way. So, it was either tell you and make a run for it, or I called the number I had. Told them Moon was bullshitting. That Liberty was a drug operation, and if they held off until that evening, they'd be able to arrest the Kingpin. Unfortunately, they showed up way sooner than I'd hoped, and with a fucking army. But at least they weren't looking for anomals. Look, Liberty was doomed, no matter what. I was hoping to get everyone out before Justice arrived, but I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you without revealing everything. And I was afraid you wouldn't understand and leave me behind. But I did not sell them out, Pax. I tried to save them. All of them. And keep you safe. Which is why I left. The longer I stayed, the bigger the risk. For everyone. And I was getting sick from all the lies, so I figured Iowa was as good a time as any to get out. Hand over the duplicate of Justice. Especially after what happened at dinner that night, but I didn't. I couldn't. I mean, who knows what's on that thing? So, I gave them the third key, with a bunch of bullshit encrypted data on it. It'll take Justice ages to crack it. If they find out it's mostly K-pop, boy, are they gonna be mad. After I give them the key, they release me, tell me I can go home, that my family's safe, but... when I finally get there, my dad calls the cops on me. Tells me they disowned me, long ago, that I was a black stain on their flawless reputation. I was never gonna be what they wanted. Believing otherwise was a fairy tale. And here we are. I sacrificed this family for what I believed was my real family, and I'll never forgive myself for that mistake. But I had to explain myself before...
Sai, I'm sorry.
You are? I mean, thanks for not yelling at me, but I don't expect you to just forgive me. After my parents kicked me out again, I didn't know what to do or where to go. But I remembered the map and the location of the Bronx Library. So that's where I went. And that's where I met Ruth, the librarian, and... that's where I realized what I had to do. I can't just walk away. I can't leave the Republic again. I got it all wrong. I couldn't see that the whole time I was working for justice, I actually had power over them. I was feeding my handlers information to help them, but I could have just as easily fed them information to hurt them. When we left Pacifica, there was no way I could have played that game and won. But I've learned a lot. From you, Gnome, Theo. I might be able to do some real damage. From the inside. I owe it to the people I've hurt to at least try.
As long as it doesn't kill you.
Maybe it will. I don't have your moxie and Vox. You would be great at it.
Sai, I have a kid to think about.
I know. I just don't get why you're putting your trust in some shadow entity instead of helping people here, where it matters.
I don't owe the people in this country anything, no matter who they are.
You don't. But we both know if anyone has the power to make a difference, it's you.
Sorry to crash the party, but Ruth says, and I quote, "If those goddamn fools don't get back in the van right now, we're leaving without them." End quote. Apparently they've started shutting down bridges and tunnels.
Sai.
I'm staying, Pax.
She's not going to change her mind. I get the whole going home thing. And I admire you for owning up to all this shit, even if I'm not ready to forgive. Yet.
I'll miss you, Gnome. And you, Theo. You may be the biggest dork I've ever known, but you're a mensch. And I adore you. I know you're angry, and that's fine, but that's not gonna stop me.
Sai.
No. Fuck that. We'll see each other again. And I love you like a big sister. Always will. Stay safe. This is the last mile. You'll make it.
Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. No hugs from me, though. I don't want any tears.
You're staying?
I'm a militant motherfucker. Whatever the hell justice are aiming to do, I'm aiming to stop them. That's hard work to do remotely. And honestly, the stuff this one said inspired me. Maybe I'll even introduce her to some people.
This is your last warning, people. I'm pulling out of here in 10 seconds.
They're ready, Ruth. She'll take care of you folks. She's the best goddamn librarian we got. Now, let's clear the streets before the drones arrive. I know this little joint only 10, 15 minutes away. We can grab a beer and, call some folks.
Sure.
Is anyone gonna tell me how you all made it to New York?
That would mean getting into details about how Nine used her vox to...
No! No. We swore.
Never again.
I mean, she just did it again earlier today,
Never
so...
again. Again.
Oh, come on, guys. It wasn't that bad, was it?
Speak for yourself, Theo. Age has dulled all your senses.
Hey, I'm not that much older than you know.
Why isn't she saying anything?
Oh God, not again.
Did you have anything to do with that disease-spreading bescarved weasel who manhandled me?
Pardon?
She means Desmond, our contact in Detroit.
Ah, was a contractor. Never worked with him personally. We don't often have turncoats among us. Nova Scotia's due diligence track record is exemplary.
I'll be the judge of that, young lady person.
Whoa.
It's bigger than I expected.
I'd do anything for a swim right now.
The Atlantic? In October?
It's beautiful.
This is nothing compared to the Pacific
No.
Ocean.
Let them have this.
What are those buildings?
One of many failed experiments. To save us all from the rising tides. The towers harness tidal waves to generate power. They might still be functional, but there aren't many of them left.
I've never seen the Atlantic Ocean before either.
Sai's always talking about how different the beaches were out here.
Doesn't look like they have any.
There's a motel coming up in 2 miles.
It's getting brighter. Maybe a good time to stop for the day.
You could have just gone at the motel.
I figured there'd be rest stops. Can you guys just give me a minute? I don't like to talk when I...
Talk when you what, Theo?
He's pea-shy.
He's... Oh my God. Theo's pea-shy.
I hate you guys. So much.
You're saying they didn't know about experiments on children going back 2 decades? No. They're just covering up. They must know.
That's what it sounded like.
You don't really buy that, do you?
You don't think justice keeps secrets from their own people?
Yeah, but wasn't this guy a high-ranking officer?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. We got out. That's all that matters.
Why are we looking at a rodent?
It's dead.
Yes, a dead rodent. Why are we looking at a dead rodent?
Because it's federally protected. It's Ward's favorite animal. We hit it with our car. That's a crime punishable with up to 10 years in a federal prison.
We need to get rid of it unless we want more attention from justice.
I think we got their attention already.
Guys, it's a squirrel. I've got this.
Okay, Push harder. Almost. Almost. Got it. Nice job. You'll be able to take over for Ruth in no time.
The libraries are on the verge of extinction. We managed to keep them operational for decades, but now...
Yeah, well, if justice is heading the libraries, then you should head back. Sometimes a network isn't enough.
I appreciate the sentiment, but there aren't a lot of us left. You want to bring a knife to a gunfight? Right now, we do the most good by getting you and your cargo to Nova Scotia.
Hey, oh, check this out.
Check this out, what?
Darling, did you know Lady Justice named her dog after an organized crime syndicate? Get it? I'm known.
Oh, I thought you were... No, never mind.
Come on, tell me.
The accent, it reminded me of CT.
Oh, sorry. Let's, talk about something else.
Okay. Pax, who's the baby's father? Gnome said it's not theirs.
Whoa, okay.
A guy I met back in Pacifica. Nobody you'd know.
That's true. I don't know a lot of people.
Pax, some guy from Pacifica, their kid, and us. One big happy family.
Z, could you stop tapping on our seat? I'm trying very hard to astral project myself into a dimension with more legroom.
There are still functioning lighthouses?
Justice converted them to scan the skies and monitor signs of a potential European invasion.
Yep, as if Europe were close to this country.
Think they can see us from the highway?
I doubt it. And if they could, we're just a big family in a boring van.
Kind of morbid that these houses are still standing.
The government's not about to spend money tearing these coastal towns down.
You could go diving and find some valuable shit in there.
Have you done a lot of diving?
If you want to see me in a swimsuit, Theo, just ask. That's how I met my third husband.
Never
and
mind.
he...
Does the Pacific still beat this, Gnome?
I prefer sunsets to sunrises, that's all I'm saying.
And beaches too. Whatever this is.
Ugh, Nai-Nai! Do we need to stop again?
That could have been anyone. Don't look at me. Look at the child.
Well, you're blaming the kid who doesn't speak? That's unbelievable for you.
There's a Betty's coming up in a few miles. You can all relieve yourselves.
And eat. I'm starving.